This booth and this conversation like totally changed my entire life. The pastor in our hometown across the street from my parents' house was somebody that I really admired. I thought she was really cool, and she was divorced, and I was like, okay, well, I can walk across the street and say hi to her then. And fell in love with her that night, and we've been together ever since that night. That whole part of my life may have never happened without Big Grove, because I probably wouldn't have gotten involved with somebody that was living in Iowa. I grew up in a small town called Calamus, about an hour from here. I had two very loving and supporting parents, and we had a full house. I'm the youngest. I have 5 older sisters. It was just awesome growing up. Played basketball in college and I got injured, so I redshirted, and then I got injured again and I couldn't play basketball anymore. I lost my scholarship, and my parents told me to go get a job, and my dad called the manager of the Clinton Country Club, and that was my first kind of foray into the restaurant world. It was entertaining and fun and hard work, and I liked it immediately, and eventually I started working for Hawkeye Food Service. Slugger's restaurant became my account, so I met with Faye every Tuesday morning, and Matt was just, high school kid running around working the restaurant. So it's funny to think about that all these years later. Thanksgiving of 2006 was when I came home. I was unhappy. I had just broken up with a girl that I was dating, and I remember coming home the night after Thanksgiving with my family and in my house by myself, and just like, I want to change my life. It's like something's got to happen. And I said to myself that night, I'm like, successful people don't wait for things to happen. I went and talked to the owner of Hawkeye to give my notice, and I said, I'm going to be leaving, and he's like, no, you're not. He said, how would you like to be the corporate chef? I said, well, I'm not a chef. I said, I've run restaurants and hotels, but I'm not a chef. And he said, I'll send you to culinary school. So I started culinary school at 40 years old. It was an opportunity that forever changed my life and set us on this course. And I started at the Culinary Institute at Greystone in Napa Valley. Reds, I believe, started in 2009. When Matt and Faye were opening, I would come up here in the evenings and chit-chat with them. I'd literally been in California for, 4 months? So I came home for Christmas to see my family, and I thought, well, I'll just stop at Reds to eat on the way home. It's about an hour drive back to my parents' house. So I sat down in this booth by myself and was having dinner, and pretty soon here come Kayla and Faye and Matt, and they all slid in a booth right there where you're sitting, and they said, hey, we got an idea. Matt wants to open up a brew pub. When we finally had a property in Solon, then I started working on kind of my idea what the menu should be like, which then led me to Ben Smart, who I worked with his dad for 18 years, Al Smart, at Hawkeye, and I knew he was unbelievably talented. I presented him like the job offer on Thursday, and
I told him I needed to think about it for the weekend, and I called him back like 4 hours later. I said, I'm in.
That was the first of many people that popped up right when we needed them. The regulars that we have there now, and how you get intertwined in their lives, and the things that happen, the people that pass away, the babies that are born, you're just in the community there. It's one of the best small towns in Iowa. I live a life that I don't know that I've ever really had any idea that I could have without Matt and Faye, saying, hey, here's an opportunity. But the biggest thing is just the immense amount of gratitude for the people that make